Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
6:07 here on O'Connor and Company. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Cal Thomas is going to join the conversation in 30 minutes. Then at 7:05, friend of the show, Alex Sawyer from the Washington Times on a case the Supreme Court just heard yesterday having to do with so-called conversion therapy. 7:35 brings us Nick Minnock, a local reporter here at Channel 7, about the Loudoun County School Board elections 4 weeks away. And then at 8:35, he's sort of the belle of the ball, I was going to say. He's very popular around town. He gets to host those red carpet events at the Kennedy Center. There's one tonight for the return of the Stuttgart Ballet at the Kennedy Center. He is, of course, Ambassador Rick Grinnell. That's all coming up. Good morning, Julie Gunlock.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. Glad to be here.
Are you going to run for office? I want to see
no.
you. Yeah. Why not?
I've been on X too long. That's not going to happen.
You'd be a great member of the House of Delegates, I think, down there in Virginia. I was just reading the statement from Delegate Carrie Coyner, the woman who was on the receiving end of Jay Jones's text messages. Ooh. Very interesting story about the origin of those text messages and how they got released. We'll share that with you as the morning goes on. Jay Jones, by the way, the man who wants to be Attorney General of Virginia, who sort of like Kerry Porter. You know, Kerry Porter doesn't care about the 40% of Californians who are Republicans and Trump supporters. Jay Jones takes it one step further. He'd like to see some of them die.
Yeah, he'd like Republicans to die. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
he's
children
charming.
Of Republicans, too.
Yes, charming.
Yeah, it's kind of a problem. Yesterday, we had Eric Trump on the show yesterday. Fine conversation about his upcoming book. It gets released next week. And he's doing sort of a media, circuit. So he's done some outlets like ours. And then last night, after our interview, he went on Chris Cuomo's show on News Nation. It was a kind of different interview. I guess Chris Cuomo had a different approach with the first son, Eric Trump. Take a listen to this. Cut 5.
Do you think that it is fair to say it looks like the administration is going after its political opponents now and doing exactly what you say you oppose?
What, Comey? Because I mean, it seemed very clear to me in the congressional testimony. I don't know, just watching it, I certainly seemed like he lied to me. I mean, I'm also wondering what an FBI director is doing, taking memos from the FBI and leaking them to the New York Times. I mean, Chris, I'm a guy that hopes that the FBI director would be keeping planes from flying into buildings, keeping our country safe, keeping the Western way of life safe. Instead, this guy is, communicating every single day with the New York Times. I mean, I'd hope a lot better. But I find it so ironic that you're literally one that's pushing back on the weaponization of government when the very same people that were coming after us, went after your brother, like hounds. I mean, they did everything they could to destroy his governorship. They did everything they could to destroy his life. They did everything they could to destroy you. I sat in that same seat. The only difference is my last name wasn't Cuomo. My last name was Trump. They were trying to destroy my father. And by doing that, they were trying to destroy me, and they were trying to destroy the Trump organization. They were trying to take all our assets and strip our name off of every building in New York City. You've been on the receiving end of the very same people that I've been on the receiving end of. And so to play coy with me as if this isn't happening in the United States of America just seems ironic and foolish given what you've been through more so than anybody.
Hold on a second.
All right, let's pause there for a second. There's more to this, but thank God.
Gosh.
I know Chris Cuomo is, he's a different brand now that he's not at CNN. He's being more fair and balanced. Oh, give me a break. Yeah. That was a typical D.C. media talking point that everybody has just repeated as if it was fact. All Trump is doing is punishing his own political enemies, the same thing he claims they did to him. And
when they sat silently, if they frame that question, Trump's just doing the same thing that they did to him. Wait a minute. Are you admitting to this lawfare? Are you admitting what they did was persecute this man based on politics, not based on actually him doing anything wrong? Are you admitting that?
That's right.
Then why did you sit quietly? And Eric takes it one step further by saying your family was on the receiving end of that. What is wrong with you? I love it.
Yeah, it's such a great point. He's just he's doing exactly what he claims they did to him. Well, okay, so you're admitting then that they did. I love that whenever anybody said, Donald Trump is just going after John Bolton and James Comey for political revenge. And I always want to follow up and say, no, hold on. Revenge for what exactly?
Right.
Please tell me. And then as soon as you start to answer that question, you realize, wait a second. They went after Trump, and we said, in fact, it's worse than saying nothing. They actually participated in it.
Yeah.
They celebrated it. They encouraged it. This didn't end well for Chris. Chris Cuomo decided that he wanted to take on Eric Trump, I guess, because he wanted a viral moment. Okay, you got it. Let's go viral. Listen.
Just seems ironic and foolish given what you've been through more so than anybody.
Hold on a second. What did you just say that you think I'm doing? I'm asking you questions about whether or not if something is wrong, it is also wrong to do the same thing when you get back in power, which certainly happened the first time the administration came in. You went right after Biden. And I don't mean you weren't part of the administration. I'll get to you in a second in terms of what's going on right now. But if you think I'm playing coy, you don't know me as well as you should.
Chris,
I'm not playing coy. I know what happened to me,
Chris,
Eric. I'm saying that
and it was
what is
horrible
happening now looks like what was done to you. That's why I'm asking the question.
Did we raid Biden's home? Did we try and bankrupt Biden? Did they come after us? Did we weaponize every AG and DA, against Biden? Did we do that against Hunter Biden, who had a laptop from hell, pictures of cocaine, illicit drug use, prostitution? Did we do that? Did we make up a dirty dossier about Biden? Did they try and destroy Biden's marriage? Was any of that true? I mean, did we make up stories that Biden had secret servers in the basement of his home communicating with the Kremlin in Russia? Did we strip Biden off the ballot of multiple states? Did we take Biden off of Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and try and silence his voice so he couldn't communicate? Did we put Biden in a courtroom every single day? 91 felony counts that have all been overturned for my father now, right? For nonsense, to try and keep him off of a campaign trail and to try and destroy his life. Did we do any of that?
Oh, I'm telling you, when I saw this video clip, I literally stood up and started applauding.
Yeah.
It was awkward because I was driving my car at the time. But it's just so... And by the way, this is why it was so great. That whole litany. Did we raid Biden's home? Did we try to bankrupt Biden? Did we weaponize every AG and DA against Biden? Did we do that against Hunter? Just on and on. It was all off memory because this is what Eric Trump and the Trump family's been living through. It's what his book is about. And honestly, if you want to know what Eric Trump's book is about, that interview right there, Chris Cuomo walked right into it because he opened up the door so that you can see exactly what they've been through and exactly how they weaponized the government against them. It's amazing. What a great moment.
Great. Good for him.
Do you think I'll have a son who defends me like that someday?
Of course.
WMAL, making sense of the news. Live from the Home Paramount Pest Control Studios. Home Paramount, the leader in pest control since 1939.
Your next $1,000 could be one text away. It's $5K a day on WMAL.
We love Stephen Miller. He's the Deputy Chief of Staff for the White House, and he has been the tip of the spear on so many issues involving ICE, illegal immigration, deportation policies, as well as the surge of law enforcement to help local law enforcement get a handle of the rampant violent crime that's been allowed to fester in major American cities at the hands of Democrat mayors and city councils. And you know he's good and you know he's effective because he's gotten the attention of, well, really, I think she's now the minority leader for the Democrats in the Senate. She's their top fundraiser. She's their superstar. She was probably going to be the nominee for president in 28. Of course, I'm talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And she put out a video. She does these selfie Instagram videos.
Yeah, sometimes she's
wearing a white hoodie.
Making furniture.
Right, exactly. And this time she went right after Stephen Miller, and she's under fire. She's actually being criticized by her woke friends on the left for this.
Stephen Miller is a clown. I've never seen that guy in real life, but he looks like he's like 4'10", and he looks like he is angry about the fact that he's 4'10".
Okay, so first of all, as is usual with a left-wing Democrat, she's lying. He's 5'10", actually. He's not 4'10". We've been in his company. He's not, I don't know. He doesn't actually project himself to be small either. It's weird.
Really get it. I don't know what she's,
I don't know where that's coming from.
But
and by the way, Stephen Miller responded in kind on the Laura Ingraham show. Laura brought it up, of course. And so here's cut 7, Stephen Miller's reply.
I think the important point is that every time she's on TV, Republican approval ratings go up, Democrat approval ratings go down. That lady is a walking nightmare.
You're about, I know you for 20 years. You're about 5'10", 11. About 5'10",
yes.
So 4'10",
Yes.
I don't know what she can say.
All right, so he's laughing at it. And then he jabs back, saying, every time she speaks out, Republican approval rating goes up. All right, you'd think that was the end of it, but now she's being criticized not by Laura Ingraham, not by Stephen Miller, not by conservatives, by people on the left because, apparently there's a lot of short people on the political left. There's a lot of little people, and they're angry. They think that she was body shaming him, suggesting that there's something wrong with being under 5 feet. And this is great when you have the whole ladder
I love it when they eat their
grievances.
own. Yeah.
Yes. So now she had to do another Instagram Live to explain that, I love little people.
I wasn't really criticizing his height. Right. Yeah.
Right. Here, take a listen.
I want to express my love for the short king community.
Oh, my God.
Stephen Miller.
The short king community. Yes. So, yeah.
I don't believe in body shaming. I am talking about how big or small someone is on the inside.
There you go. Oh, well.
Wait, but hold on. She literally said he looks like he's 4'10". She didn't say he looks like he's
ugly
4'10"
on the inside. No.
Right, yeah. He's very short on the inside. By the way, she's still, even if she's talking about on the inside, she is equating being diminutive and short with, in some way, being a failed human being.
That's
or not
right.
worthy or not.
That's right.
The body shaming continues. We cannot let this stand.
Can we also I wonder how many short kings are in her district that she would find it necessary to put out a video. Is this a part of her community? What's going on? I don't know.
Wait, this is the first time I've ever heard the term short king. Is this
Me too? I've never heard that.
Oh, okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't.
No.
All right, so let's hear her whole full explanation.
Yeah.
I don't believe in body shaming. I am talking about how big or small someone is on the inside. Like, for example, I have no idea how tall Andrew Tate is. No idea at all. But that guy looks to me like 5'3".
All right, so she's still going on in the same pattern.
What? She's so weird.
So, and again, Andrew Tate is a despicable human being. He's awful. He's evil. He's horrible. But to insult, so I'm going to insult this person that I don't like because he's a terrible person. So I'm going to claim that he appears short to me.
Yeah, she's making it worse.
Further,
yes.
She's doubling down on the idea that being short is something to be ashamed of, that makes you a lesser person. She's so stupid that even when she's trying to clean up her mess, she continues the insult.
Yes. And again, it just shows that these Democrats are not used to being criticized. They never have to you watch what they say or do anything. They fall into these traps because, again, they're not used to being challenged or criticized, and then trying to explain it. My God, she just made it worse. Embarrassing.
Oh, the backtrack is hilarious.
It is. Yeah.
That's wonderful. All right, so there you go. Although I think we should really take the apology video where she didn't apologize. She actually made it worse and said, I don't believe in body shaming, and then continued to body shame. We need to take it really seriously because in that video, she was wearing her glasses.
Oh, right. Oh, of course. Yes. Black rimmed glasses. There they are.
The black rimmed glasses. It's the smart girl glasses.
Yep.
It's what everybody loves. You know what? I'm thinking national ticket, Katie Porter, AOC.
Oh,
what do you think?
gosh,
Who's with me?
We would die of annoyance. My goodness.
But not a Cracker Barrel in this country that will feel safe at that point. It's 6:23.
WMAL-FM Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now. Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
Let's go. It's 6:37. We're flying through this morning because it's so busy. It's 7:05. We'll talk to the Washington Times legal reporter Alex Sawyer on an argument yesterday in the Supreme Court. At 7:35, Nick Minnock on the Loudoun County School Board. And then at 8:35, Ambassador Rick Grinnell of the Kennedy Center. The Stuttgart is in town. Julie, when was the last time you had a good Stuttgart?
You like saying that.
Stuttgart.
It's a good word.
It is it's a great word. You know what else is a great word? Cal. Good old
Yes.
Cal Thomas of the Syndicated Columnist. I pick his columns up at the Washington Times. Cal, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Larry and Julie.
Morning. Listen, a lot of news out there about Senator Chuck Grassley, chairman of the Judiciary Committee, releasing information about the fact that the FBI pulled metadata on telephone activity of multiple members, Republican members of the United States Senate. This was in Jack Smith's attempt to get Donald Trump prosecuted for insurrection. But then there was this other troubling report that I think is frankly even more disturbing, that after the inauguration in 2017, the FBI, there's an email now, from a special agent, Timothy Thibault, who said the FBI wasn't close to opening a case on Trump, but was, quote, aggressively seeking out information and human sources that could lead to a case on the Trump campaign. In other words, they were looking for a crime. They were looking for evidence to support an investigation. That's not how these things are supposed to work, is it?
No, it isn't exactly, Larry. And this has been a problem at the FBI and the leadership level. The agents are great, but the leadership level for some time. And this is typical. You go out and try to prove a crime that hasn't been committed. This is the antithesis of what law enforcement and real investigations are supposed to be. You start with a premise, and then you dig around and try to find evidence to prove your point. It is political bias in the extreme, and it's what we've come to call lawfare. But I got to tell you, my favorite moment up there on the Hill was when Pam Bondi was testifying and pushing back against these Democrats. And she says to Dick Durbin, the Democrat senator from Illinois, if you won't protect your people, meaning all the crime that's going on, especially in Chicago, if you won't protect your people, President Trump will. I thought that was a great soundbite.
Yeah, in fact, we have it here, as you referenced it, Cal, here. Let's take a listen to it.
The rationale behind the deployment of National Guard troops in my state, the word is, and I think it's been confirmed by the White House, they are going to transfer Texas National Guard units to the state of Illinois. What's the rationale for that?
Yeah, Chairman, as you shut down the government, you voted to shut down the government, and you're sitting here, our law enforcement officers aren't being paid. They're out there working to protect you. I wish you loved Chicago as much as you hate President Trump. And currently, the National Guard are on the way to Chicago. If you're not going to protect your citizens, President Trump will.
Dang.
Well, that's one of those moments, Cal, that will resonate, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I'm a little reticent because of the Posse Comitatus law about deploying federalized troops on domestic territory. But these are limited, and the locals are not able to do the job. They're either unwilling, the politicians, or the police are overwhelmed. Look what's happened in Washington. If we want to stop crime, at least temporarily, I hope it's longer, we've got to do something. They're just, the leadership isn't there. It's not happening. I think reporters ought to go in and ask some of the relatives of victims of crime who've been murdered, are you happy with this? I would think that most of them are. I'd also like to follow up and ask people who are complaining about this, who did you vote for in the last election? If you voted for the Democrats, like Mayor Johnson of Chicago and some of these other mayors, then you get what you voted for.
Yeah. Cal, I want to pivot over to your column. You talk about the situation in the Middle East and Hamas, whether or not they will stay in power. There is talk of, this deal, and we're all thrilled to hear that. But the question is, will Hamas remain in power? That, to me, seems like a no-go. But, ultimately it's up to the people of Israel what they want to do. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's right. And I write a comparison about what would have World War II turned out like if the factions in the United States and in England, and we had them at that time, wanted to negotiate with the Nazis and the Imperial Empire of Japan rather than win the war. Roosevelt said there was no substitute for victory, Franklin Roosevelt. And Winston Churchill, of course, had the best line of all. He just went on, he said, without victory, there's no survival. And that's true. If you don't completely defeat and eliminate Hamas, they'll live to fight another day. That's just obvious. Hamas has never lived up to a single agreement. They haven't repealed their charter. Neither have all the other terror groups for the elimination of Israel and the killing of Jews. And what makes us think that they will agree to anything or live up to any agreement this time?
Yeah, agreed.
Cal, have you seen the Stuttgart Ballet?
No, but I am assembling a bunch of Bad Bunny albums so I can be prepared for the Super Bowl. By the way, I had
different cultural.
Yeah. On my old Fox show, I had Meatloaf on. The late Meatloaf.
Yeah.
And I asked the producer. How do I address him, by his first name, Meat or Mr. Loaf? So I think it was. So I have the same problem with Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to marching bands? I used to be in a marching band.
Oh.
Really? What'd you play?
I played clarinet. We had our little uniforms. We had our hats on with the little feathers up there in high school, and we did formations and things. And they used to do that at the Super Bowl. Now they have all these clowns on who most people can't identify with. And Bad Bunny says, hey, if you want to understand me, learn Spanish. Hey, it's America, buddy. You learn English, okay?
There you go. I have images of Professor Harold Hill and 76 trombones all of a sudden.
Yes, exactly.
Listen, given the choice, I think we would all prefer Meatloaf to Bad Bunny.
Yes.
Sounds like a restaurant review. We'll leave it there. Thank you, Cal. It's
Thanks, Cal.
6:44.
Mark Levin, weekdays 6 till 9 on 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
So you remember Ian Roberts, Julie? He's the greatest educator in America.
Sure.
I'm sorry, Dr. Ian Roberts. So this is the illegal immigrant from Guyana who had an open deportation order after multiple gun, weapon, and I believe drug offenses on his record. Some of his so-called PhD degrees were fabricated. But he rose to the level from being a principal here in Maryland and, oh, by the way, registering to vote in Maryland, which I think is illegal, rose to the level of superintendent of schools of Des Moines until he was pulled over by ICE with that open deportation order. He fled police, ran hidden bushes until a dog discovered him, and he had a loaded gun, a knife, and $3,000 cash in his car. Yeah, that's Ian Roberts.
Good grief.
But he, and now it turns out, and by the way, hired totally by left-wing liberal Democrat women on the school board of Des Moines. Every single one of them.
Didn't care that they did not do a background check. Yes.
Absolutely not needed. Not needed in this case. And the president of that Des Moines school board was Michelle Obama's chief of staff. I mean, let's just close the loop on all of it. It's incredible what occurred here.
Unbelievable story.
Can I remind Loudoun County that they have a school board election coming up in 4 weeks, please? This could be you. Well, now it turns out, as reporters continue to delve into this person's life, this is some sort of bizarre Svengali, Catch Me If You Can, Leo DiCaprio kind of charlatan, right? And now the examination begins with his girlfriend. Nicole Price, identified as his employer at one point and lover, claimed to have done, quote, postdoctoral studies at Stanford after having obtained a doctorate of education from a for-profit online university. Now, so basically she did like some sort of online study program and got her doctorate, which by the way, I'm totally going to do that, and you're all going to have
Me
to call
too.
me doctor. Let's go. But here's the thing. She says she's doing postdoctoral studies. Now, postdoctoral studies, doing postdoc, is an actual position focused on advanced research after obtaining your doctorate and before entering academia when you become a professor, because that's the only reason you get a doctorate for the most part, other than to force people to call you doctor like Joe Biden.
Like Joe Biden, yes.
Well,
exactly. And Larry.
But here it is. The postdoc work that she did here, according to her resume, it says she obtained a certification in diversity and inclusion for organizational excellence at the Stanford School of Business. Now, Stanford School of Business is a 10-hour self-paced online course costing $1,500.
Another thing we're doing, just so we can say. Yes.
But then, as this reporter, Laura Powell out of California, did the reporting on this, she said, perhaps Price misunderstands the term postdoctoral studies, believing it just literally refers to any study undertaken after a doctorate. But someone so unfamiliar with academia has no business presenting herself as a doctor. She's not doing any postdoctoral studies, unless that means, reading a book after you get your doctorate.
Right.
But this is it goes on and on and on.
I mean, the thing that
Ian
cracks
Roberts
me up,
also.
that cracks me up is actually listing that her postdoctoral studies in diversity, equity, and inclusion. They actually put that in. You would think people would be stripping that stuff out of their CVs. Nope. There's still, very delusional group of people who think that's impressive.
Actually, there's a screenshot from the website for the Stanford School of Business, which, again, 10 hours, $1,500, self-paced, become a doctor, that is titled Leverage Diversity and Inclusion for Organizational Excellence. That's the class. Leverage. You use DEI as leverage.
Yes, there you go.
Get what you want. It's 6:52.
Yeah. You're too busy to keep up with the latest in appliances. So are the salespeople at big box stores. But the factory-trained experts at Bray & Scarff, they know it all. And they can't wait to share it with you. The showroom alone